Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Charmaine and I'm back with another video. Today I feel like I just first of all it's spring. It's so beautiful outside, guys. I'm literally gonna insert like clips of what it's like outside right now. But I was going through my digital footprint and I always like think about pictures and how like okay, my eyebrows. You probably didn't notice them until I pointed it out. But this one's like smaller than this one, like way thinner than this one. But yeah, guys, and I wanted to talk a little bit about why I started this channel and like why it reminded me to even film a video. So, I started this channel because um I just wanted to talk and just have a place to put my thoughts. Like, I didn't really care about who saw it. And I still don't really care about who sees it, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, I'm just another person in this world. Like, it's a whole big world. And I'm just one person in it. It's like, there's so many of us here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that deep. But anyway, anyway, child, I was just saying I was going through my digital footprint. And as I was going through my digital footprint, I literally saw like videos of like this other game I used to play. I'm not gonna display too much info because low key it's still a private part in my life. But let me just get to the point. I saw old videos I used to make and I used to like literally design like put outfits together. It was like a dress up game kind of thing. Hey guys, like I low key bumped my nail when I was working, so that's what's going on here. But anyway, this dress up game, and I loved making videos for it, and I loved making outfits, and you know what, the funny thing is, the characters I was making at the time were so ugly, but I just loved it. Like I just loved being able to express myself in that way, in ways that I never saw myself being able to, basically. So I picked up my phone today and I was like, wait a minute, let's talk a little bit about our digital footprints and about like how crazy that stuff is. As a kid, I had confidence, and you know, it's crazy because there's a friend of mine who actually spoke to me about this, about how confident I was as a child. But it's so weird how our brains, in certain like times of our lives, tend to like make things sadder than they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Just to justify a feeling you have in that moment. Your brain can literally trick you into thinking that everything is falling apart. And it will actualize that because you continue to focus on the bed. Okay, now I'm really getting into like the psychology of it all and stuff, but hey, yeah, and you tend to remember only the bad stuff in your life, literally. All of your confidence, kind of that era of you that was actually very self-loving and self-appreciating and confident kind of vanishes, and you just don't remember it anymore until you look back at your digital footprint. So I know that a lot of times people associate digital footprint with like going to work, going to school, and I 100% agree that you really need to portray yourself on the internet as very clean because you are exposed to a lot of people and people get their first impression of who you are from those things. So I would say I'm not saying just do whatever on the camera, okay? That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying allow yourself to be free enough to take pictures. You don't even have to upload it. You ain't gotta upload it. But anyway, I'm gonna cut that whole part out. But anyway, I literally like went through that video And I was just laughing at how cute it was and how imperfect it was. And like I remember once I actually had a YouTube channel, and it was based on acne and stuff like that. I really wish I still had that video. I'm so mad at myself that I let people get to me, because guys, I'm telling you, believing in yourself is so deep and profound. And I feel like a lot of us have reached a point in our lives where we feel like we've lost that. But it takes a lot of courage for you to stand up and tell yourself that, like, hey, you know, she's me. I'm here and I'm grown now, and I can say that, like, in as much as there were times where I felt like she was very much suppressed, I feel like I'm at a stage where my inner creative is now coming out, and where I'm starting to embrace, you know, adulting and responsibility, trying to develop ways of gaining independence financially. You know, sometimes, in as much as my situation can be stressful, I like to take courage in the fact that, like, it's not always going to be like that, or like faith in the fact that it's not always going to be like that, and it's going to be amazing. I'm really excited because it really is just a matter of time, Shem. It really is just a matter of time. So yeah, guys, keep your pictures close and your videos close, because they remind you of yourself, and they give you kind of something to prove to yourself. You know, that little girl or that little boy that, you know, saw the stars. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm sure, like, we wanted to be millionaire, like ice cream men. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's still very possible, but I mean, to think that a child could think that far, and as an adult, you feel limited in what you can achieve. I don't know, guys. Food for thought. Food for thought. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you watched it, I'm probably gonna watch it back, so yeah, okay. Bye.